We're back with another episode of Encounters with Darkness. I'm Ashley Greathouse, and here's my disclosure. I do not actually believe in the supernatural. I don't. I want to, but I don't. So, now that we have that out of the way, I've been focusing on talking about haunted Indiana, because that's where I live, and I'm stuck in my house. So, not a whole lot of creepy stuff going on in like my backyard or nothing. Sorry to disappoint you. And I really didn't want to do this topic because everybody knows it. Like, it's the one thing, if you're local to Indiana, or at least southern Indiana, then it's going to be the one place that always comes up when you talk about haunted locations. It's just the hot spot, okay? All the cool kids go there. It's just not like during spring break. But yeah, it's a hot spot. What is it? I'll tell you. It's Tunnelton, Indiana, if you haven't guessed it yet. They have probably one of the most haunted tunnels in Indiana. I think it's fitting. It is. The actual place is called Tunnelton, and they have a haunted tunnel. It's a creepy name, creepy story. So yeah. Alright, so now why is this place? Why is it haunted? Well, no one really knows. I think that's why I went ahead and did it, because I like doing these stories on haunted locations that, you know, no one really knows why they're haunted. We all just keep talking about how they're haunted, and we build them up. So are all of these places that I'm talking about, are they just really places that we've made? Like, it's a man-made scary? Does that make sense? Now, there are some crazy stuff that has happened that could leave the possibility of someone hanging about and causing mischief, and only in that one certain specific location. It can happen. I want to believe that it can happen. So, some of the stories about Tunnelton is there was a man who was working on constructing this big tunnel, is what it's called. The big tunnel has a, you know, it's a railroad, okay? It's a railroad with a tunnel, and yeah, it's pretty terrifying all on its own, because if you're not careful while you're in the tunnel and you're like not in one of those cool little nooks in the wall, when the train's coming through, because the train still comes through, that's going to suck you right out and you're going to die. Like, man versus train, I think train is going to win so many times. But the man who died during the construction, it was not by a train. Obviously, it was still being constructed, so why would they allow a train to go through? I don't know exactly what happened to this guy, or even what his name is, because there's really not a whole lot of record that I could find. Not saying that it's not out there. Maybe I'm just super lazy and didn't find it right away and gave up. But there's really not been an actual report of a guy who was definitely killed by decapitation in the tunnel. But there was a murder out there. His name was Henry Dixon, and he was supposedly, you know, killed and his body discovered in the area. So there could be his ghost, but what really explains the ghost sightings and stories from before Henry Dixon's time? Was there? Or is everything built up adding to the legend of it? I have no idea. I wanted to go, I wanted to explore, I wanted to have some type of evidence for myself. The circumstances, you know, would not allow that to happen. And I'm pretty bummed out about it. But yeah, Tunnelton, Indiana is probably one of the most scariest things. Now, everybody's personal experience there, it's just that. It's a personal experience. So it kind of differs from person to person. But a common factor is that everyone sees a light at the end of the tunnel. Now, this could be coincidental. It could just be that other people who want to find the ghost just as much as you do have decided that they're going to start their exploration of the tunnel, but at the other end, And maybe, you know, circumstances happen to them that cause them only to have one light. And that could explain why so many people are seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, looking like it's being carried by a headless man. I don't, maybe it's someone who's really short and we're just assuming that they're headless because they just stopped there with their growth. I don't know. I'm just throwing out possibilities at, you know, to explain some of this. But yeah, everyone says they see a headless man carrying a lantern. There has also been people who report like being grabbed or hit. There's been even a lot of videos posted on YouTube of people who have like giant red marks. Hi, Kiva. Giant red marks like wherever they were hit. Generally it's on their back is where they're hit. Now all of this can just be stunts. You know, friends can be coming over and smacking. Yeah, I don't have to explain it. You guys understand and hopefully get how something that simple could be faked. But that's the fun in the supernatural, is that all of it could be real or it could be fake, and the unknown is terrifying all on its own. So yeah, that's kind of my whole breakdown of Tunnelton, Indiana. There's really not a whole lot to it. It's mostly hype, which is why I didn't necessarily want to talk about it. I didn't want to steal that hype topic, you know. People see it in the title and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, another scary thing about Tunnelton. Yeah, I don't personally, I don't find it that terrifying. But that's just me. Do you have like personal experiences that you've been through that you want to like tell me about? You know, share with me, share with the class. We all want to know. We want to know. Maybe I'll talk about it next episode. But thank you guys for tuning in. Stay creepy, wash your hands, and I love you. All right, bye. Hey guys, last thing, follow me on TikTok. On like everything.